What's that? I'm just setting up my StarCraft settings. I'm just setting up my StarCraft settings. I'm just setting up my StarCraft settings. Where am I hearing this from? This is ridiculous. Ah! This. I somehow have my stream looping. Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright. Okay, so could you do a bit of talking for us, please, mate?
Test, test, 1, 2, 3. This is Bone Carlos.
Oh, very nice indeed. Very nice in freaking deed. So now we are actually live because I've sorted out the problem with the repeating. Yay.
Good times.
Good times indeed. Good times had by all. Apart from my MacBook because it's running out of battery. Oh, ridiculous. That's not so good. That's not so great.
Usually not. Usually not. Come on, open it up.
If you put the replay file like straight into the replay folder, that's how I've been doing it for ages because they screwed up since a patch once.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, you are live, and I'm going to go and get myself a nice bit of Coca-Cola and a laptop charger. So
Coca-Cola and a laptop.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'll figure this out. Wait, so am I live on the... He just left me with his stream. Foolish mortal. Oh, good times. Oh, there we go. Ah, good times. I wanna rock.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello. All right. Are you all sorted?
I am all sorted. I got it up and running. Good times had.
Good times had by all.
Yeah, that is. I stole that from you, sir.
Hooray! Right.
Yeah.
So obviously we're going with game 1 first, I presume.
I was going with game 7 first.
Oh, not game 7. I hate that game.
Game 1. Game 1. Let's do this. Ah, good times.
I'm just trying to apply to cast a tournament in the UK.
Oh, did you?
Mm.
Well, which
to
tournament?
cast like a big one.
Oh, dude.
I-46.
Send me a link. I'll email them asking if you're going to be casting. That'll get a little bit of nudge in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be run by DE Sports, and I met them last time I went to cover the event, and I think I've got their manager or CEO's phone number or something, so I'm going to like basically try and get on in there.
There you go. Just break in. Don't even worry about making a good appearance or nothing like that.
No, absolutely. Just, you know, go with who I know rather than what I know.
Right, definitely. Definitely. That's how I live my life. Look where it got me.
Yeah, that's always going to be a winner, right? so on it.
Definitely.
I don't. Fantastic. Right, let's sort all this stuff out. Oh my
We're
goodness.
just chatting, streaming live, just chatting, having a good time, not even worrying about StarCraft.
Oh, there's totally nothing wrong with that at all.
Right?
Alright, okay, let's boogie. Let's boogie on down. Oh, yes. Screw my laptop. Screw it to hell. I can't actually figure out if, like, we're live or not right now. Usually
I could check the stream if you'd like.
I am trying to check it right now.
Let's see what
Oh,
comes
it's
up.
live. It is live.
There you go.
Cool, we might have an audience in, like, a little bit anyway. So should we just start? Should we do that funky thing?
Are we starting? Are we advertising, putting up things on game, on forums, or should we just start? Let's just start. Let's go ahead and warm up into game 1, see what happens, and then we'll go ahead and go from there.
Absolutely. So the question now remains, the question remains, what the hell is going on with this stream? I'll tell you what's going on with this stream. I haven't set it up properly because I am pro. They see me around town, they see me walking, whoever they are, and they go, that guy's pro. That's what they say.
Just from the swagger.
Absolutely. And they say as well something along the lines of, my goodness, we wish we could all be like Dave.
Oh, your name is Dave.
It
Good
is.
times.
I know. It's absolutely unbelievable, really. I'm not the biggest fan of my name. I don't know.
What?
It's such an average name.
Have you ever heard of News Radio?
No.
No, the main character's name is Dave, and it's like my favorite show of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a pretty funny show. I'd recommend it. News Radio. Check it out.
All right. So now the question remains.
Another question. Let's go.
How are we gonna like count into this? Because you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
Okay, we'll go with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Look at that. Now, with any luck, not that we need luck because we're awesome. We are rocking, as it were. Excellent, brilliant. Oh, so do you want to introduce? I don't know what you want to do, really.
Well, this is your stream, buddy. You do what you want. I'm here just along for the ride.
Oh,
I could introduce you. I could introduce myself. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just checking out some StarCraft.
By talking, you are pretty much introducing yourself now. I just quickly say.
Oh well, then there you go. Well,
you're doing a fantastic job. Don't make
internets. My name is Bone Carlos. I am hijacking a stream. None other than
Archon Esports stream.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was hoping a little bit more of a grandiose entrance by yourself. But that's okay. We got game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 lined up for everyone out there that's listening, the 1s and 2s of fans.
Excellent. So yeah, as has already been said, we are actually just going to go ahead and cast a load of really cool StarCraft from Cast It today, just like every Tuesday I do at 8 o'clock. Oh, 8 o'clock UK time. I need to kind of think of some way or structure of making it actually 100% apparent to when I'm actually doing this, because there's confusion. Basically,
definitely, because you tell me 8 o'clock UK time, and I'm like, well, what time is that American time?
Yeah,
because that's the only important country in the world, obviously. But then there's 4 time. I don't know, and it's noon here, 8 p.m. Over there, and I'm pretty sure you could find some sort of website that'll actually broadcast all times zones from your time zone to everyone. You can just kind of slip it into your little thread there, and people could just click and say, hey, look at that, this is what time this is.
If that exists, that just sounds marvelous.
Oh, I'm sure it's the internet. I'm sure it exists, and if it doesn't, someone will make it. No big deal.
Right, so let's go ahead and introduce our players then. In the right-hand side, we have our red Zerg, who goes by the name of Cerebrate. Awesome, nice. Just coming up to finishing his spawning pool as well. Ooh, and we
already see some cheekiness going on.
Very cheeky indeed.
By Owookie. And it's pretty much finished already since he put his probe on the inside of those pylons, lost it, and here comes Cerebrate to start the trash talking, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh-oh. Well, we'll leave the audience to read that as we introduce our other player, who is Owookie. Owookie, Owookie. In the left-hand side, he is a blue Protoss player. Excellent.
And definitely, right off the bat, my hand has to go to Owookie, being a Protoss player myself. Just that, I don't care if it was a Bronze versus Grandmaster. I'm going to go ahead and root for the Protoss player, especially if they go up against those nasty, buggy Zergs, in my opinion, anyway.
He also has Wookiee in his name, which is, of course, very important.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you got Chewbacca, you got Lobaka, you got Treebag, you got plenty of... I like Star Wars, if you haven't noticed, but yeah, Wookiees are cool.
Excellent. Right, so we've got Zerglings staying in the middle of the map right now, and that's one thing that is actually quite interesting about Antigua Shipyard. It's got kind of a king of the hill sort of motif going on, where if you spawn in cross positions, it's very important to hold that lovely hill, because you can see what's coming, and, well, you've got high yield expansions all over the freaking place, which you've got high ground coverage from as well, which is, of course... Absolutely. Yeah, lovely.
Definitely. You take that central Zelnaga tower. You pretty much got a vision of the entire middle area of the map. And if you're, especially when you're Zerg, you could just spread those overlords along the edge of the map, and you're pretty much safe for quite a bit of drops and middle area encroachment. And here comes Wookiee just pulling off all the drones to take care of 3 Zerglings. I would say that's just a win for Cerebrate, in my opinion. Look at the loss in mining time.
If we actually look at the income tab right now, we have Cerebrate mining like 6 times as much as Owookie. That's a bit of a disaster, really. At first I thought he might have been transferring, but no, instead he was just being a full fat idiot. Not to say that he was fat, I'm just saying that you have various degrees of milk, semi-skimmed, fat, and I hope at least somebody understands.
Milk. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely the skim, 2%, low fat, non-fat. No, I see what you're talking about,
yeah,
I think.
It's the milk metaphors. They are possibly the best metaphors, really.
Oh, well, definitely, and it is a staple of Archon Esports, if I am not mistaken, correct?
Well, definitely for this game, at least.
And speaking of this game, what level of play are both of these players? Because I see them flooding plenty of minerals on both sides of the map and just doing fundamental errors. Both players are doing.
I actually think, don't quote me on this.
I'm going to quote you on this. Where's my pen? I'm writing this down.
All right. I definitely think that I'm definitely not looking that up on Reddit right now.
You definitely think you're not looking up, because I would have to say these guys are gold at the very highest, platinum, low player, maybe even silver. We already see Wookiee's going to go ahead and repel this little Zerg push with his double photon cannon, double wall off with those gateways. Already has cybernetic core up, putting down a couple more gateways. Looks like he's trying to transfer into a regular 7-gate offensive push, and normally if he would have done everything correctly, this would already be hitting about now. Yeah. I would say.
Absolutely. They're silver. They're silver players.
Boom! Yes!
Boom! Well done.
Calling out 3 of the 6 leagues, and I get it right. Ah, yes, I feel great.
Could I just ask, what game time are you at?
I am at 8:33 at the moment.
Oh wow, that's actually like perfect.
Well, come on, this is Archon Esports hooking up with Bone Carlos Gaming.
What isn't more perfect about it? I suppose.
Exactly. What can't you expect? And what I want to know is why this drone is still hanging out in the middle of Wookiee's base.
I want a proxy hatchery to come out of that.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Since this is yeah, well there you go. We actually see Wookiee's actually putting down a couple pylons at the edges of his base. So yeah, if it does happen to come down, he's gonna spot that almost instantly. And I would recommend, or I would think that if a hatchery does go down, it will take him about 17 minutes to react. Given the level of play I've seen out of both of these players so far. Not to say that they're bad. I'm just saying that they're kind of bad. But we all gotta start somewhere, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're after casting amateur games tonight anyway, so you know.
Oh, definitely. That way it makes us look just a little bit better. Yeah. Just a little bit better.
Without a shadow of a doubt, really.
Definitely. And right now, yeah, like both these players are still working on about 40 harvesters each, 36 to 39 in Cerebrate's favor still. And Cerebrate is just taking his 3rd hatchery. So a little bit lateness out of both players. Yeah. If I were to say out of anything, give anything out of both these players, is to scout just a little bit more. Try to poke in with an overlord. You already have an overseer. Drop that changeling and check out to see what your opponent has, and keep poking in and out with those zerglings. And notice that all he has is that 2 photon cannons and a single zealot.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
yeah, looking at the
10 minutes 30, that's nothing.
Yeah, that is definitely nothing right now. If Cerebrate saw this and noticed this and realized this, he could just power himself up. Quite a nice bit of army since he does have plenty of larvae to support it. I mean, his natural has, you know, 7 already with 3 in the main, along with his initial Zerglings. He could pretty much overwhelm us very easily, but now looks like the sentries are finally coming in.
Yeah, I think that's something about low-level play that has to be noted, really. Like, the amount of scouting that they do can really, really ruin the game for them. I mean, Cerebrate could have probably rolled Owookie already by now. Looking at the amount of minerals he's got nearly 2,000, just hitting 2,000 now minerals. And it's just like, you see the higher level players and they scout so much, and there's definitely a reason for that. Like 100%. But we do have a sneaky warp prism coming down the bottom here with sentries in. So maybe we'll see one of those really, really cool drops where the sentries force field the drones in. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, no, I definitely try to do that every once in a while, but you know, you get a force field at both sides of the hatchery or the main base, and just warping a couple of zealots really decimates that mineral field very, very quickly. Yeah. And definitely would work, especially if you catch your opponent unawares. But once you get into the higher level play, with the quick reaction time, you manage to sneak on by. Coupled with a low reaction time of myself, it usually doesn't work, but it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, so Cerebrate definitely knows this is coming because the warp prism has actually been spotted by overlords. But nevertheless, he actually goes and lands them in the clouded area. Cerebrate knows it's coming, therefore pulls a queen off, and she is quickly retreating.
Yeah, and I do not feel good for this queen. It will go down very quickly. It looks like the four sentries are going to go ahead and force field off nothing. There you go. Finally decides to put down a perfect force field to completely wall off the ramp, but the first one goes down, and there it goes.
It does actually look like maybe this is just a death sentence for the Cerebrate's units that are actually currently on the battlefield, but more zealots coming in right now. Of course, zealots very, very easily kited by roaches, especially on that creep. I'm not sure if they've got the reconstitution. Is that? No, they don't have that yet. So, no, you know, like zealots don't do fantastically well. But nevertheless, Owookie is actually warping in 3 more zealots as we speak, coming up to fight Mr. Cerebrate and his roaches. I just think that game is over. He wasted 300 minerals there, really, by warping in those 3 zealots, in my opinion.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. He really threw away all of those units, those 4 sentries. Yeah. Really not necessary. He really should work on that force field positioning. Make sure he positions that force field perfectly on that ramp. Yeah. And it's just one of those key things to block it off with just 1 force field. And even if he doesn't feel comfortable with doing it with just 1, he has 4 sentries. They were warped in for quite some time. They were on the battlefield, and they each had at least 2 force fields. So put down 2 force fields, just save yourself and make sure you feel confident that that ramp is completely walled off. Yeah. You could have done a lot more damage.
Absolutely. I mean, Owookie, with that whole effort, has only actually killed 10 workers. And I don't think that counts the one at the beginning, so that pushes 9 only. So really not the greatest of pushes there by Owookie. If we think about it, 4 sentries, that's 400 gas, 200 minerals, then at least 10 zealots, which is another 1,000 minerals. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if it was so worth it, especially seeing as the way Zerg can just replenish their drones so quickly is just brilliantly effective.
Yeah, no, it was not, and it all came down to that whiffed force field. So if anything, if Wookie could learn from anything, if you don't feel confident in putting down that 1 force field, put down 2. Why not? Eventually, once you continue playing, get more experience, you'll be able to just completely force field it off with 1. But as of right now, put down 2, get secure, get safe, and that attack could have been completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could have seen the entire main being wiped out right there. He had enough sentries and enough energy on them to keep the force fields going all night long, but he just simply didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, and right now he's actually putting down plenty of gateways. We see 5 more being put down along with the original 4 that he put down, and then 3 more in the main base. So that brings the total. What does that bring the total up to? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
11 gateways.
Along with 1 robotics facility, and that is just too much to be able to support.
With the Templar archives on the way as well.
With the Templar archives on 2 bases. And this is something that I learned a long time ago when I was trying to progress through the ladder system and trying to get into a higher level of play is when you get yourself into a false sense of security on seeing how many minerals you have. You see yourself having 4,000 minerals, 2,000 gas, and you think, oh, I could support like a huge economy on this. But really, this is only this amount of minerals is only going to sustain 1, 2, maybe 3 warp-ins, and then you're going to have 6 warp gates just utterly useless. On 2 bases, you could support maybe 7, 8 warp gates by himself, cut back a couple, and then put up a robotics facility, or cut back down to 4 or 5, and then put up 2 robotics facilities, and then a second robotics facility going down. So yeah, Wookie should definitely look into that and see how his economy could support the structure that he has.
Absolutely. I mean, Owookie really needs to expand. As you said, just, you know, he has put down so many freaking gateways, and he's gonna do a 1 warp in off all of these gateways, and that's it. His minerals are gonna be gone.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be, what did we say, about a dozen warp gates? That's going to be a couple of zealots, a couple of warp-ins of zealots, and that's going to be it. But looking at Cerebrate's side of the field, he's actually not too bad. He's got his infestors up. He's got a greater spire up. So corruptors, broodlords are coming in. Already corruptors on the field, so he's going to be able to take down the single colossus in a few hits. So really, I would say Cerebrate is definitely in the lead at the moment, just because of the tech he has and just by what he's been able to support with his economy, especially with that double Evo chamber. So good for him.
Absolutely, yeah. Really, really. Well, I mean, like, for the level, it's a fairly good play from both our players here, really. I mean...
Yeah, well, you said they were silver, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with what's going on here. But it is very stereotypical of, like, the lower level games where you will see barely any action until the first 20 minutes has passed.
And yeah, exactly. I've run into a few of those, which is generally, if you see my cast on YouTube, I cut out the middle 15 minutes and put in a commercial, a random commercial, a random PSA. It's freaking lovely. I love it. And yeah, if I were, like, right now, Cerebrate, if you're listening to this, if you're ever going to listen to this, drone up heavily just a lot more. Right now, you're third. There's just drones on your extractors right now. Learn your hotkeys. I mean, you got 3 of your bases on hotkeys. Hit that 5, hit that S, hit that D, rally all of those drones over to your third base, and your income will just skyrocket. Because right now, even though you got your gold, you're gonna get your gold, you're gonna get a 4th, 5th, and a 6th base. You're pretty much even in the economy with your Protoss opponent here, who's only on 2 mining bases at the moment.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, really. It's very ambitious of a Cerebrate to be taking these bases, really. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, I don't personally think there's anything
right
wrong
now
with
he just doesn't know what to do with these minerals that he has. I mean, right now he used all of those he used all of those larvae to just spew out tons of zerglings, and now he's using all of his drones to butt down a nice wall of spine crawlers. And this just screams to me as someone who's watched a lot of pro level games and just says, you know what, around this time when he has a huge amount of army, when he's close to about 150 food, put down tons of spine crawlers, when really he's just these are really gonna not do much else. I mean, they might get steamrolled, and if they do, he's not gonna have any sort of economy. Right now, there's no saturation at his natural. His main is completely almost mined out, and then his third, nothing yet at the gold, nothing yet at the 5th or the 6th, and now his harvest count is at 38 compared to Wookie's 53.
And that's really, really gotta hurt. I mean, that's something that people don't often realize in lower level games. It doesn't really matter how many bases you've got to have the worker count to back it up. Because if you don't, you know, like, if you don't produce workers thoroughly all the way through the game, you're going to end up in this situation. Zerg, it's not so bad because they could make units so damn quickly, but not great. We do have a hatchery just disappearing right there.
Yeah, well, you have the typical Protoss death ball right here. Wookie is maxed out at 197. We have Broodlords in there. They're going to go ahead and try to back up these spine crawlers. Zerglings aren't rushing in just yet. Storms do manage to hit a bunch of those Broodlords, but they are really weak. He doesn't want to use those Sonic Storms on those Broodlords. He wants to use them on the Roaches, on the Zerglings. Yeah. Completely whiffed, and everything is just crumbling to the Zerg onslaught.
Yeah, he even put the Psy Storms like where the Broodlords are graphically, rather than where they are actually on as the ground is, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, graphically they're about I don't know, half of an inch higher than where they should be.
Yeah.
And if you look into your options, Wookie, it should have a little option where it shows flyer unit ground positioning. Click that, and then you'll see a little circle right underneath where they should be, and that's where you definitely should put those Psionic Storms. But not against Broodlords. They will tank that to no end. Use that on the Zerglings, use that on the Roaches, and that outcome probably could have been different.
If your Zerg opponent is asleep, in any case.
Yeah, and definitely. And right now, Cerebrate is just going to go ahead and steamroll. He has plenty of Broodlords here to just start nibbling away at these Photon Cannons. He has these Corruptors. He's going to be able to morph them into Broodlords very easily. He does have the minerals and gas to do so, but he's going to go ahead and take his time, push forward with those Roaches.
I think Cerebrate really has played quite a lot better than Owookie. I know that's like very critical or whatever, but you know, at the end of the day, there is kind of a reason why Owookie has failed to actually make anything really happen here. I mean, that engagement for him was quite unfortunate. It was pretty bad positioning. The Psi Storms going down as well, but ultimately Cerebrate just, well, even though the bases aren't saturated, he does have more. His macro's just been more on top of it as well. I don't know. I just genuinely think that like Cerebrate kind of deserves this win.
Oh no, yeah, no, definitely. Wookie just pretty much lost it for himself. Cerebrate got what he wanted. Infestor, Broodlord, Roaches. It's very hard to counter
fungal growth on the probes.
Ah, that was terrible. And I want you to just go ahead and push 2 on your keypad real quick and just note Wookie's vision.
All right, here we go. He's in his base warping stuff in currently.
Yeah, and look at the map. He has no idea what has been taken. All he knows is the main base and the third. He doesn't. He knows that gold was taken, but he doesn't know about the top 3 bases that were taken by Cerebrate, and that's just lack of scouting. So, Wookie, if you could learn from anything from here, scout just a little bit more. If you don't feel safe with those force fields, with those spellcaster units, just figure out how they work and just overuse them. 2 force fields per ramp is okay at your level. Cerebrate, pretty much work on your economy just a little bit. Spread those drones out. Continue building those drones. And scout a lot earlier. If you would have noticed that single Zealot 2 cannon defense at around the 9-10 minute mark, you could have just steamrolled them. Finish this game over in 11-12 minutes.
Owookie leaves the game without a GG.
Nah, well, you know, after the earlier shenanigans that both of them pulled, I didn't expect anything more or less. Just right there.
Should we progress onto our second game?
Let's progress. Let us progress.
Progress.
Let us progress.
Yeah. Awesome. No. No. Yeah? What about that? Why not? That was an OTT stretch.
Oh, wow. That was awesome. I think now we should put up a couple of threads here and there, get people here into the stream. Did anyone even say anything in the stream chat?
Yeah, man. We've had Killer Koala rocking around.
Oh, Killer Koala's there, man. I love that guy.
I love that guy too. He is like the beating heart and soul of Caster. It's incredible.
I thought that was me. Or am I the... Can I be the right calf?
The right calf?
Can I be the right calf of Cast It?
Yeah.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Let's see. Sir Goodmood can be the bicep.
Who now?
Sir Goodmood. I don't know if you're aware.
I am not familiar with that guy.
He was on... I think he was on ages ago. I don't know.
Right. You know what? We're going to go ahead and make a list of all the Cast It members.
Killer Koala just said that you're more of a liver.
What? Why am I a liver?
I don't know.
Is that because I drink too much? Is that what he's insinuating, sir? What happened? You know, I haven't drank in 3 days.
Oh, you're one of these guys who casts drunk occasionally.
I occasionally, yes. I have been known to procure alcoholic beverages, and I do have a date set up for Sunday night to do a drunk cast with I Big and Scary.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Can't wait. Oh, it was a random organ, apparently. So anyway, let's progress into our second game.
Oh, and there you go. Look at that. You already put that thing up?
What? The little cap thing?
Oh, no, hold on a sec. Oh, you put the... Oh, Angry Kittens put up 16 minutes ago on StarCraft.
Oh, on the actual StarCraft one?
Yeah.
Jeez. That is fame if I don't know it right now, so let's start this, mother.
Oh, okay, we're starting this, mother? All right, we're going to go ahead and up to 5? Or where are we going to? Like, same as before, correct?
We could... Yeah, so let's just start from the beginning. I'd
Okay,
like that.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All great stories have a beginning.
This is.
Okay, let's start from 7 and go to 1. No,
wait, what?
we could. Oh, let's start from 4 then. What's your poison?
My poison?
Yeah, as far as numbers go.
Oh, numbers? I'm following. I'm just stalling at this point.
Okay,
just
right. Let's go. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and click. Ooh, lovely. Uh-oh. Amazing. So let's introduce the players. In the bottom left-hand corner today, we have Buda. Excellent. Who is our red Terran. And in the top right-hand corner, we have uwuMavvie. Amazing. And with me today is Mr. Bone Carlos.
Hello there.
Nice.
You gave me a Mr. title. I have to.
I don't know why, but whenever I mention your name, I always say Mr. Bone Carlos. I have no idea why.
Is that because you respect me?
Probably.
Yes!
It might be the fact that I'm acutely English and very posh. Who knows?
I'm gonna have to leave this stream now if that's the case.
Well, I respect you. Hey, there you are. Have some of them. Have some of them apples.
All right, I take it. And what map is this? Cloud Kingdom?
Super Mario's favorite map, Cloud Kingdom.
Oh, bless your heart for that reference. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're gonna be calling players uwuMavvie. Is it Mavvie versus Buda?
Mavvie
versus Buda. So it's gonna be a TVZ. And what can you expect out of both these players, skill level wise?
Not a whole lot. I think they're gold.
Gold level play.
That's just. I mean, I should have really done this earlier.
Well, that is the sign of a great caster. Homework.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Generally, and we already see Buda putting down a proxy barracks, but unfortunately that proxy barracks is behind his own natural expansion. Not sure exactly what he's trying to do here. Maybe he's trying to psych his opponent out by hiding that barracks, but unfortunately he's going up against a Zerg player who's just going to go ahead and fly right over it and pretty much catch it right off the bat. So maybe this might work against another Terran, another Protoss, but I don't really see it working up against a Zerg player. What do you think?
I don't think it will. I'm actually just searching for the... Oh,
that is A-okay. I can go ahead and take over for another minute or so, and you just jump in whenever you're ready. We see Mavvie already taking his natural expansion, just a natural progression. He pretty much took it around the 2-minute mark, which is generally where an expansion first Zerg takes it. He already has his extractor, gets 3 drones on it, has his spawning pool about 40% done, and now he has an 18 of 18 supply, and it looks like there is no Overlord in sight to be built, and Buda is already taking his expansion of his own, and I think I figured out why Buda put that barracks right there, and there goes my explanation right out the window. I was gonna say he put down that barracks to block off any sort of run by with Zerglings, but since he lifted it up as soon as I said that, now he's putting it down at the top of his ramp. So look at that, Buda, the double switcheroo. He was zigged, he zagged, and now he is finally zogging and going down into standard play.
Okay, let me just interject. It's not a gold level game. It's not even a silver level game. It's not a bronze level game. It's not a Grandmasters level game. It's not a diamond game. It's not a platinum game. It is a Masters game.
This is a Masters level play, and oh, no wonder I am so stupefied. These guys are thinking way beyond my capabilities. I don't know where you're at, personally, professionally, or intimately on the ladder, but I am in lowly platinum.
I used to be in lowly platinum, and now I'm in lowly gold because I had to go to university. That's my excuse.
There you go. See, I was in high diamond.
Oh,
just on the. I was
crazy.
playing Masters level players. I was up there and I was excited, and then my computer died.
Oh no!
And I missed 2 seasons. And we already see Buda. I don't want to recount these terrible stories. We already see Buda taking his 3rd expansion, feeling very greedy. Already has a bunker put down in very awkward situations since Zerglings can still run by and attack at the top of his expansion and still do a little bit of a run by. Generally, you want to put this bunker a little bit behind it, putting down next to the ramp, and right next to that Overlord command is where I see the pros do it. But again, what do I know? I'm just platinum level play. Oh, correct.
Yeah, well, let's speculate.
Let us speculate. I love theory crafting. Where I see Buda taking up his orbital command. He actually got his 3rd command center up before his Zerg opponent. So that is always very interesting to see.
Oh yeah, it's always a surefire way to know if you're ahead. If you manage to get your expansion before a Zerg. Like, if you're on 3 expansions, Zerg's on 2, you're on to a bit of a winner, really. As per the rulebook, essentially.
Yeah, but right now, Mavvie is going to go ahead and check around the base and see, wait a minute, 2 orbital commands already. I know you took in your expansion. You only have a single barracks and a single factory. I sense some sort of aggression out of Buda. I doubt he's going to go ahead and try to play economically or continue on his normal build. If he does try to play economically, play a late macro style game, I do believe he will get crushed just because Terran is just so formidable with those mules, especially with 3 orbital commands already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, I do hope Mavvie techs into some sort of quick Mutalist harass, just to keep Buda and just punish Buda for being so greedy right at the beginning of the game.
I think the cards are open here, as it were. We could see anything out of Mavvie. Will he tech up? Will he not tech up? That is the question, yeah. But one thing that we will see in the near future is lots of bloodshed, or Marines being turned into acid. Who knows? One of the two.
One of the two, definitely. And we actually might even see a drone barbecue, since there are reactor Hellions coming out of Buda, and we're gonna see, maybe look at that mech play. 3 factories already going down. So mech play. Are you sure we're not casting an Angry Kittens replay? Because I'm pretty sure this is what he likes to do. Killer Koala / Angry Kittens. And by the way, cute names. Just gonna go ahead and throwing that out there. But look at that, already gonna see a tech lab, 2 tech lab factories going down with the reactor factory, starport going down for Buda. So a little bit of a switcheroo by the Terran player. I'm interested to see exactly where this ends up.
These Hellions had absolutely no purchase on being able to harass at all. They were seen off pretty damn quickly by the Queen. But they meet up with another 2 Hellions. We'll be able to see some sort of damage coming out of them. I'm not sure, because there is a fairly high Queen count. There's a Spine Crawler at the natural. I don't know about how much damage Buda is actually going to do with these Hellions here. Besides, Buda probably shouldn't be trying to do damage in the first place, being a religious figure and all that.
Well, definitely. But, you know, and when it comes to StarCraft 2, religion is thrown out the door alongside with these Hellions. They were just repelled easily by 2 Queens and a single Spinecrawler. It is GG for these Hellions. They're going to have to head on home and do something else. Maybe going to go ahead and cross that wall.
Wait
of
until
supply
Heart of the Swarm. Wait till Heart of the Swarm become Battle Hellions.
Definitely. Reactor starport, so definitely not going to see medevacs out of this. More than likely double Viking production, since there aren't any kind of bio forces for Buda to heal with those medevacs. Already Thors are coming out, double Thor coming out of both of those tech labs. So let's see if Mavvie can actually react in time. And Scott is going to go ahead and hang out over these factories. You should be seeing them popping out any second now.
Unfortunately for Buda, really, the timing of the Thors coming out. But I don't actually think that Mavvie actually managed to catch that.
No, it looks like he went head on south. And look at Buda's saturation on his natural expansion. He's finally starting that transfer over. Yeah. And I'm actually surprised that that Mavvie has actually let Buda macro up this much. Right now, the harvest count is 60 to 70, Mavvie's favor, but really it's even neck and neck. With that mule count, those 3 orbital commands.
Another orbital command gets dropped as well. So
right there on that 3rd expansion, or where is it?
It's down in the 3rd.
Down in the 3rd. Oh, yeah. Wow. So, yep, command center coming up. So, 4th base. And around the same time that that Mavvie took his 4th and his 5th. So, really, Buda's just keeping up with him base for base.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think really... I think, how can I express this? Buda's playing very kind of standard, or as like I would versus a Zerg, you know. He's just doing all the mech tricks, really. He's getting his Viking to protect against Corruptors going into Broodlords. I don't know, this is a fairly standard play. This is like the ideal play from a Terran that you'd love to see, or love to do even, where a Zerg player would just let you macro up.
And yeah, and Mavi's actually pulling out the wrong units. He has Mutalisks, and he's continuing to build those Mutalisks with those roaches, which, if I do remember correctly, Thors are actually great against both of those units. So Mavi's is building the...
He's also getting his centrifugal hooks as well, which again, probably, in my opinion, not the greatest answer to what Buda is putting out.
No, definitely not. We actually see the mutants are going to go ahead and push into the third. They're going to go ahead and take out that Viking fairly quickly, see those Thors and say, you know what, I think we should go over here.
Meanwhile, we have lots of Hellions doing quite a bit of damage over here in the brand new fourth, I think, of Mavvie, and they do get away with quite a few kills. If we check the workers' kill count, it is 5 even. I need to learn to count workers killed.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then that blue flame just pretty much, it looks like Buda just waited until that blue flame kicked in, poked in, did as much damage as possible before those spine crawlers came up. So they did what they had to do, which was anything really. We actually see the command centers lifting off, going to go ahead and take his fourth, but at the same time there's a fifth command center morphing into a planetary fortress at the front of Buda's natural expansion.
That's bold.
That is bold, and along with a sixth command center being put down by Buda. So just, oh god, I love this. This is just a round of applause to that guy for doing what he's doing, because I just love it when someone sticks it to a zero.
Oh, roaches being loaded into overlords. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Where are they? No, this is your... Man, you could interrupt me all you want.
I feel bad. I'm too polite. The big clump of overlords that are heading across the map right now, they are all laden with roaches. The roaches are going to fall out of them. That is how many there are. 2 more overlords coming across the left of the map here, meeting up with Mutalisks. But it really, really looks like this is going to be a bit of a disaster for Buda if he doesn't see this coming. The siege tanks are vulnerable at the moment. They need to siege up.
And it looks like Mavvie is just going to let everything fall. Well, actually, not everything. He lost a healthy amount of overlords there. I counted 3 full at least, maybe even possibly 4, but there's also another drop happening at the expansion of Buda, and this is exactly the type of play you wanted to see about 5 minutes ago. Right now, I do not think he's going to be able to do the damage necessary to just change the outcome of this game, really.
Absolutely. And I mean, Mavvie did manage to do some damage in the natural there of Buda. I mean, he has killed 20 workers with that drop. It wasn't a completely futile effort. The Mutalisks are going to come into the natural right now, and they will have to be very, very careful indeed, because there is 2 Thors there, so they'll need to get the hell out.
And there goes 1, 2, 3. They come back for more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just throw away those Mutalisks, because they're going to get 8.
I kind of felt like Mavvie had the right strategy there, but... to a fairly shocking degree, he just didn't pull it off correctly, or like in any way that would have been healthy for him at all.
And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a classic Bone Carlos-esque type play where he has a perfect strategy in mind and just fails it miserably, and then slightly, just slowly weeps into his shirt. I'm not sure if you know who Bone Carlos is, but he classically does this time in and time out. And really sad to watch every once in a while.
I think I've cast a Bone Carlos game, actually.
Oh, well, then there you go. You would know what I am talking about.
Yeah, it's that guy. So that guy.
That guy right there. And look and see, Roger's going to go ahead and take out that missile turret. But, oh, wait, there is a planetary fortress there. Aliens are going to go say, you know what, we can't do much against armor. Planetary fortress actually falls. What is Buda doing now? He is just all over the place.
Mavvie is just going for an all-or-nothing push with these roaches here, probably trying to make up for the little bit of lost ground he had when all of those overlords got shot down. But it's going to get cleared up very, very quickly indeed by Buda. And I mean, ultimately, Mavvie killed a hell of a lot of supply depots, didn't supply block his opponent, and then all of his forces died. I don't know. Mavvie man is throwing his units away quicker than a...
Throwing unit away guy?
Yeah, than a guy who throws things away quickly.
Yeah, definitely. But replenished again, 27 roaches on the field, along with 12 infestors. But he is on 1, 2, 3, 4 base. We're going to go ahead and see some infestors. We're going to go ahead and put down plenty of infested Terrans on this 4th wall. An engagement in the middle.
Absolutely. The engagement in the middle, actually, that really isn't great at all for Mavvie, because all of the siege tanks are just so perfectly behind each other with those rocks as well. But as you were pointing out, as I was looking at the battle in the middle, so many infested Terrans here, but I'm just not sure it will be enough with the SCVs repairing away, and now the siege tanks joining in, destroying the infested Terrans as well.
No, and there it is. It has been mopped up. It's been cleaned up. And looking at the units lost tab, we see generally around where you want to see in the units lost tab, but the resources definitely favor Buda, since he is almost half of what Mavvie is, and a couple of siege tanks get cleaned up in the middle.
Yeah,
and now
a lot of roaches coming in and pushing against these Thors and siege tanks here, and it does actually look like a whole load of Buda's army just got taken pretty much out of position. And I think Mavvie's got to be kind of happy with that, at least. That's something to take home to the wife and claim that you've done a good job on, you know?
And you know what? Definitely to the wife, to the kids, to the aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, grandparents, maybe even the godchildren or two. Finally has a win in his book, because currently in the entire game, he has been losing pretty much every engagement so far, but now it looks like the power of the Roach is going to go ahead and continue on. Siege tanks are sieging up, but they have no support, no backup, no shields, and Roach is just going to go ahead and stream forward and do as much damage as possible.
We do see the siege tanks there coming out on top, unfortunately.
Definitely.
For them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Roaches. You know,
unfortunately for the Roaches. Who needs a shield when your sword is bigger than you? Why not? A little bit of a nightmarish play if you do play Soul Calibur, and here comes the siege tanks.
The siege tanks just going to be wrecking the 4th expansion there of Mavvie. Or the 4th or the 5th, I don't know.
I do believe, you know what, in your defense, they were taking at the same time, 4th or 5th, we know what we're looking at. And now Broodlords are in on the way for
these Vikings
Mavvie.
need to be really, really careful about the fungal growths that are going down there, because obviously the Vikings at the moment are Buda's only form of defense versus air units, and what an air unit as well with the Broodlords. So, the Infestors are just running into their dooms and getting completely mopped up as well. I don't know if you saw that, but that was just painful to watch.
Yeah, and half of the Infestor count is done. But again, unfortunately, siege tanks can't shoot up. Broodlords are going to go ahead and make very quick work of them. And here come a couple more Vikings, but the Corruptor count is just too high. Those Vikings are just going to go ahead and say, you know what? I'm not even going to shoot. Forget that. But another huge engagement, more siege tanks. Thor's on the way somewhere along the map, and all at the same time, Buda's going to go ahead and try to expand to an expansion that's already been expanded to.
I don't think he actually knows it's going to be expanded to, but we do have an endangerment of Mavvie's 4th base right here as it explodes into tons of blood. Buda has actually trapped his siege tanks kind of like between parts of Mavvie's army right here, and it's going to get cleared up by Mavvie, if that made any sense at all.
No, it made perfect sense. I'm right there with you. If people did not understand them, that is their fault and not ours in any shape, way, or form.
Excellent. That's good.
It's going to go ahead and call that out here, and it looks like the Broodlords are going to go ahead and swing around the entire area of the map, finishing off these Hellions. So right now, the unit composition is pretty much Broodlord, Corruptor, Infestor for Mavvie, and Buda just has Thors, Vikings, Siege Tanks, and a single Marine still on the field, just hanging out at the natural expansion, half health.
I don't feel like Buda is reacting well enough to his opponent's composition right here.
Well, I don't think he has the ability to do so. Right now, he is essentially broke. He has plenty of factories, but he wasted a lot of those minerals, a lot of that gas on siege tanks, hoping that his opponent would just go pure Roach, which was working for a while. But as soon as those Broodlords came into play, he didn't have the Thors necessary to be able to push it back, or the Viking count, really. And now he is just scrambling for anything that he could possibly find. He's landing orbital commands left and right, trying to build SCVs, but they are going to be taken out very quickly by the Broodlords. No chance for escape there.
This could be the end of this 4th base for Buda right now, and I think really Mavvie is going from strength to strength here. But this is a lot of Viking and a lot of Thor as well, and so many Force Fire all at once. All of these Corruptors, that's just going to be tremendous splash damage. Unfortunately, no more Vikings are left alive, and the Infested Terrans have just been kind of left to run amok. I mean, Buda didn't even try and run away from them. That's a bit unfortunate, really. And we have Mavvie coming out on top once again.
And definitely, and Buda really didn't have, and this was pretty much his final stand. He mustered up as much strength as he possibly could with Thors, Vikings. I saw a couple of siege tanks, maybe a 1 or 2 Hellions, but the power, there was just too many Corruptors, and once those Vikings went down, what did Mavvie have? Everything else. Buda just leaves the game.
It's unfortunate, really. I mean, I don't think Buda really could have reacted any differently to that fight as well, because the fungal growth's going down. The corruptor count was huge, even with the Thors doing that tremendous splash damage. But hey, we're gonna have to move on to game number 3.
Let's go on to game number 3. Did you even send that game number 3 to me, sir?
I didn't. I am a cheeky man.
You cheeky man.
You've heard of the cheeky girls. Well, I am the cheeky bloke.
Oh no. Wow. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one alone. Let's see.
I am just getting some from the chat.
Where? Oh my gosh! I need to figure out this chat right now. I need to make an appearance here. What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that would be nice. Ooh. Alright, we have a request from the chat to do a game between Viper and IcemaN. Viper is in the chat. Viper is also a modern gentleman who is on this particular stream quite a lot.
Is he? Well, there you go. Hello and welcome everyone. How are you guys? How are we doing so far? What do you guys think? And crickets.
Governor.
Man.
Cool.
It's our, yes! We are adequate.
That's what I aspire to be perfectly adequate. Be a bit like warm water.
Warm what?
A bit like warm water. You know, it's not hot, it's not cold, it's just in the middle. I'm not a red hot kind of caster, you know. I'm just warm.
Okay. Warm water. All right.
Is that an expression that doesn't get carried over? I don't know.
Are we maybe lukewarm?
Fantastic.
I just don't like warm water. It's just a thing. And look at that. Viper is from GameFAQs. Hey, Viper. Brava for coming over from GameFAQs. That's actually where I made my stamp of casting, actually.
All right, here we go. Have you got that? Have you got the replay I sent you?
No, but I got a virus from you.
Did you? Fantastic.
No big deal.
It'll every time you start up your computer, my face will just appear from now on.
You know what? I'm okay with this.
Excellent. Oh, okay. Okay. Properly on it. Unbelievable.
See, it's loading up right now. Right now. All right. Hey, you think I should do this next cast in Spanish?
Can you do that?
Pues claro, señor. ¿Qué crees? No puedo hablar español.
Okay, so if
estamos hablando con StarCraft 2. Vamos a tener un juego contra Viper y su ¿qué?
Okay, so if you cast in Spanish and I cast in English, it might be a fun game where I try and guess what you're saying. I mean,
oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I have a Spanish housemate, but he's not here at the moment.
Ah, wow. And he could be back there with his vuvuzela.
Yeah.
Oh, you say goal? Oh, he wants me to say goal? Killer Bunny, I could give you a goal.
Go on, do it.
Se la pasa al centro y con una cabeza y ¡gol! ¡Una cabeza de Rolandinho! My neighbors are fucking hating me right now.
That was amazing.
I'm telling you, man, I could dig into my roots if I chose to.
That was so cool. My God, fantastic. Do you have the game up?
Oh, we're actually okay. Yeah, hold on. I'm so excited about soccer. My bad. I apologize. Let's go ahead and pause this up.
I just put my glasses on. I've been casting these last 2 games basically blind.
Oh well, come on.
I know. That is just how you do. That's how you do what we do badly. Damn straight. That's what I'm all about.
The word. I'm going with it. All right, well, it's up and running. I'm waiting on you now, dude.
All right, let's boogie on down to Chinatown, or Spanish Town in this case. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Establish. There we are. Cool. So, in the top right-hand corner today, we have our Red Terran who goes by the name of ViperXK. He is a regular on the stream. For those of you on Twitch, he is in the chat. So any questions, direct them his way. In the bottom left-hand corner today, we have IcemaN. Fresh from Top Gun, he is the Blue Protoss. Bone Carlos is with me, Mr. Bone Carlos.
Yes. And I had to hold back a cheer and shouts, but my arms were waving in the air because I was gonna go ahead and do a Maverick joke, but you beat me to it. So good for you on that one.
Oh, I'm cultured. Overlay is down. Now it is back up. Uh-oh. That happened last week as well. It never used to be this bad with me. I never used to be so brain damaged. But ever since that time, that thing that happened at the zoo with the Killer Koala.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the kittens that were cute.
And they got
and
angry.
Yeah. Were they angry? No, it was the Viper thing. The thing with the snake.
Oh, right.
I told you to pull it out, but you didn't.
Oh, I see.
Like, anyways, this is the PvT. We got IcemaN spawning in, I would say, the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock position. His opponent is going to be ViperXK, and I know I am re-establishing the names. The players have already been called. I just wanted to get away from Vipers in Dave. Just, sticky.
Can we just actually say, establish right now that XK is probably the coolest name, coolest pair of letters you can put after just about anything?
I'm thinking about it. Maybe.
Like, for example, let's take a name of a food, cheese. Cheese is not a cool word, but if you say cheese XK...
Whoa, what kind of cheese?
I don't know. Like,
Provolone's pretty good. Parmesan? Swiss?
Gouda.
Gouda.
Gouda?
It's Gouda.
Oh. Well, if you say tomato, I say tomato.
Who says tomato?
British people.
You're British?
Yeah?
I thought you had on like thick braces, man.
No, I am about as British and posh as you can get.
Oh, we've already been over this, established this. Oh yeah. Okay, so we already see ViperXK is gonna go ahead and put down a single Marine. So Marine before any sort of add-on is gonna go ahead and actually a second Marine. First Marine's gonna go ahead and chase away this probe. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Perfect micro by Viper. I know he is not listening to this and no way knows that I'm complimenting him on his exemplary skills.
Oh, he's in the chat.
There it is.
He's in the chat.
That was a joke. Oh God.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you went to go make a coffee.
Dave, man, come on. And right now, Viper's gonna go ahead and take his a natural expansion, just like the pros do. None other can equate to his level of intimacy with the StarCraft 2 metagame. And his opponent, IcemaN, is still just on a robotics facility. So 1 gate robo coming out of him.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Well, I don't know, actually. I mean, Protoss lately have been taking a lot to expanding early against Terran opponents, but obviously with him getting a robotics facility, that is something that we're probably not going to go ahead and see. But Viper has given the impression of a defensive play. He has expanded already. I think IcemaN, more than anything, he wants that observer. He wants to know exactly what Viper's doing at some point in time pretty soon. But a probe, SCV up the ramp might have done it, but the 3 Marines are there right now. Therefore, that avenue of scouting is closed, I suppose.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm very interested to see exactly what IcemaN's train of thought was. I think he put down that robotics facility since he did see the gas taken by Viper.
Yeah.
But unbeknownst to him, he just put his SCVs back on there. So Viper just used that assimilator, extractor, refinery to get that tech lab up and running, to get that stim pack finished up. And now he's going to go ahead, and IcemaN's going to go ahead and throw away this Zealot. He's going to go ahead and take it out very quickly. Stalker's just going to go ahead and retreat. He's going to know exactly what's going on. But really, that was just a thrown away Zealot.
Can I just say, IcemaN's only just started using his chrono boost that he's got saved up like a crazy man. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, like what level of play IcemaN is. I know that Viper is of a very high level.
Yeah, he last I heard he was top 5 grandmasters. He barely broke into that. He got out of the top 10 ickiness and broke into top 5 grandmasters. So his opponent must be that high as well. But he is clearly outclassing him in every shape, way, and form.
Absolutely, really.
Not that he's listening or anything.
No, of course not.
Of course not. And we see a little bit of a transfer of pros. It's just a scotch too early. They will finish mining and go into that first base. But that's okay. IcemaN is just going to go ahead and learn from his mistakes, hopefully.
I do hope so. I mean, at the moment, I'm just a little bit confused as what is actually going on with IcemaN. He hasn't... Oh, he's just opened his second and third gateways. He needs to be building a few more. He's got 600 minerals. I mean, are Viper and IcemaN of the same caliber at all? I don't know.
I would assume this is obviously ladder red and blue coloring, but I think what IcemaN is doing, he just saved up plenty of minerals, and he's just going. He went straight into Colossus deck. A robotics way is already down, but I think he did notice his high mineral count and put down an immortal. Yeah. But that was just a little bit of a miscue by him. I feel that immortal should have been built a long time ago and would have already been done by the time this robotics facility was done, and he could have continued his Colossus production very, very quickly, while we see Viper's going to go ahead and push out with a single Marauder and just a bunch of Marines.
I mean, usually we'd see Terran waiting a little while or something, you know, maybe getting some medvacs, maybe trying to do some of that freaky push before 10 minutes, like Terran like to do.
Yeah, and I think what Viper saw, I think I heard a scan somewhere in the distance, so he might have scanned and saw something they like, or maybe he's just trying to set up himself a contain. He's going to scan and reveal exactly what's at the expansion, and he says, I'm not going to be able to take this out in any shape, way, or form. That immortal is going to go ahead and chase away that immortal Marauder, I would say, and plenty of zealots, plenty of sentries, couple of stalkers, and Viper's just going to go ahead and head on home, but take the Xel'Naga towers on his way back. It's
fortunate for Viper, really. Because I feel that if IcemaN had his sentries closer to the ramp, Viper may have run up there and got force fielded in half or something. And that could have been a bit of a disaster for Viper, but maybe IcemaN isn't just that on it at the moment or something, or maybe he's just not thinking so defensively.
Yeah, it might be just that there's a difference in the level of play. Honestly, I don't know what Viper's level is. I do believe he might be Diamond.
I think he is Diamond, yeah.
Yeah. And you see a weird discrepancy in levels, even in between the different leagues. I've lost horribly to platinum level players while easily beating high diamond level players. So maybe IcemaN is just a bit off. He's trying maybe a new cheeky build. Yeah. Cheeky, just a little nod into your direction, sir. And right now he's just 3 warp gates, a single robo facility, and looking at the income tab, we see the harvest count about equal, 50 to 46 in the favor of Viper, but really it's kind of a false number since Viper does have access to those mules.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the moment, something that is surprising me a little bit is that Viper hasn't been getting his medvacs and Vikings out a little bit sooner, but he is doing it in vast waves now. He has starport with reactor and another starport to go. He's going to be expanding as well. But one thing that just really worries me about IcemaN is I just feel like he doesn't have enough units yet. He just doesn't. It doesn't look like he has a fully... You know, it's not a 12-minute Protoss army. Sure, he's got the Colossus and stuff, but he's lacking core units pretty badly, really. I mean, he is getting his double upgrades, I suppose.
Yeah, he is getting double ups, and I think the reason he doesn't have that big of an army is because he went so quickly for that Colossus. I mean, immediately when that robotics facility was finished, he put down that robotics bay, which definitely cuts into your core units, your gateway units, your stalkers, your sentries, your zealots. And right now he's just overcompensating. He's putting down 5 more gateways with the 3 that he originally has. I mean, that's just something that he wants to have about 4 minutes ago. And right now, Squadron Ring's going to go ahead and take out this Nexus since IcemaN's army was way out of position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think IcemaN as well, he is missing core units here. Fair enough, you can have Colossus. Colossus are a great unit. But without core units, they're going to get flattened by a load of Marauders, you know? Like, Marauders are armored. They're pretty actually quite good against Colossus, really. I mean, obviously they're not the best, but they are very good.
Yeah, definitely, in any sort of numbers, but really Viper's not even too worried about it. He's pulling out his Vikings. He's going to go ahead and load up his medevacs, maybe do some sort of droppage action, but IcemaN is ready for that. He's got a couple of stalkers on patrol. He has a photon cannon there for defense. He's probably going to get pushed away very quickly, but finally IcemaN is just starting to ramp up his unit production, but at the same time, Viper has very interesting units. No, pretty much just Marines, very little Marauders. I mean, he only has one Marauder in the mix right now, and he's decided to push out at the moment. He's going to go ahead and send a squad to the northern area while doing a drop in the south, and going to go ahead and push in the middle with his main army. So three-pronged attack, and something I've noticed out of Viper quite a bit.
Yeah, his multitasking is really, really nice, along with his micro, actually. His splitting is really good, if you've ever watched a game which will require him to split. Maybe it'll be this game as well, because we have a Templar archive on the way. We might see Storm. Cancelled the Nexus in the third there from IcemaN, and we have a lot of Marines and Marauders running away from tons of Colossus.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, 3 Colossi, we don't know how heavy them, but we could go ahead and say they are a shit ton very easily. I mean, I would say even half of one is a shit ton. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
I mean, against Marines, they pack such a punch. You know?
Yes, definitely. They just melt through them very easily. And then what I like what Viper's doing, he's continually poking, prodding, and not allowing IcemaN to take his third, while taking a third of his own at the moment. So this is definitely Viper is doing the right thing. He's just going to go ahead and not trying to overcommit, not trying to kill his opponent, but just slowly starve him. But that's just going to... It's a double-edged sword. If you do that for far too long, the Protoss army will max out, and a maxed out army up against maxed out Protoss army versus maxed out Terran army, generally not what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're a Terran.
Absolutely. We have that valuable Psystorm on the way as well.
And it looks like IcemaN just decides to attack now at the choke point.
Absolutely horrific positioning for IcemaN. All the Zealots trapped behind the Stalkers. What was he thinking? I am a little shocked, really, but still, it looks like Viper might be in a little bit of trouble. He'd just land the Vikings, would probably sort the situation straight out.
I am in shock that he decided to do that.
Yeah, that was just the most inefficient attack I think I've ever seen from a Protoss player.
And I have a feeling what was going through his mind was he needed to do something.
Yeah.
But if that's your mentality, don't do it. If you feel you need to do something, do it in a smart way, not just throw away your entire army like that. I mean, Units Lost tab, we see IcemaN is definitely in the negative for about 2,000 resources. It looks like Zealots are going to go ahead and clean up quite a bit of SCVs, but that's a-okay since he has 3 bases.
I think that attack was just a disaster for IcemaN, and the supplies say it all. It's 100 supply to 170. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you go back and watch that, you're gonna see. I mean, IcemaN's army was at 160 and just plummeted to 120 within a couple of seconds. Looks like Viper sends his blade, gonna go ahead and push forward, gonna take out this pylon, gonna take out another pylon, gonna take out here and there, and finally IcemaN is able to take his third, but at what cost? I mean, his main is practically mined out. His natural expansion does have quite a few amount of minerals, but too many probes to be able to support on 1.5 bases, essentially.
Yeah, IcemaN has actually more or less, well, I mean, I'm not actually really sure there's any point in him building Colossus at the moment because of the Viking count. I mean, the Colossus just almost got one-shot by the Vikings straight up there.
And yeah, Sonic Storms are going down well placed, but really there aren't enough units to be able to hold this back. Looks like Viper is doing his best to dance back and forth, takes down that Immortal. Now there is nothing to stop the Marauders. Vikings finally do land. Charge lots are going forward. Archon's warping in. They're going to go ahead and get into the fray, but there is nothing else there for IcemaN. IcemaN leaves the game.
That is all she or he wrote.
If it's a she, Ice Woman is what he should be called. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed for him.
I've done some terrible plays. Protoss everywhere.
Yeah, and really just for any sort of player in general. I mean, you're gonna have a defensive advantage, obviously, and attacking at that choke point, fine. But the way his units were positioned, the stalkers blocked off all of the zealots. Sentries were too far back to do any kind of justice with their force fields. Colossi were taken out very quickly. It was just, I can't speak volumes of how bad that was playing.
Yeah, it was a horrific engagement. Really, for IcemaN. I just don't know why he did it. I'm just fast forwarding real quick to see he had a high ground vision before he went. I mean, even so, it's not really excusable.
No, definitely not. I'm gonna go ahead and back up and see maybe what he was thinking when he decided to do this.
Alright, okay. So, I'm at the engagement right now.
What minute is that?
15. It's just ticking over to 16.
Okay.
So, IcemaN, does he have vision? That is the question. No. So he doesn't know what he's walking into as well.
And that definitely goes back into the scouting. Really. And looking back at his field of vision, I went back to about the 8-minute mark, just when Viper started doing his little cheeky shenanigans with his 3-pronged attack. And IcemaN was just going all over the place. I think he was just confused and just overwhelmed by what Viper was doing, and caused IcemaN to just say, I need to do something, rushed in, and just got demolished.
It all went wrong very quickly.
We
even got a Colossus dancing around at the back because he can't get up the ramp. Oh dear. Oh dear. Should we progress?
I want this bad taste out of my mouth.
Awesome. Let's do this. We need to find another game to cast.
Forget sleep.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was 12 in the afternoon.
It is 12 in the afternoon, but I work graveyard, sir.
Oh, do you?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that's hard.
This is basically 1 a.m. for me. Oh, look at we got more. Oh wow, we got more people in here.
Yeah.
Look at that. People talking, checking out. Okay, Demogra. Demogra, we need to see a replay from you since you are in chat, and I don't recognize you.
I don't recognize him either. His name kind of makes me think of a Godzilla monster. Of some degree.
Really?
Yeah, you know, because there's Mothra. That's like a giant moth. I don't know.
Well, the first thing I thought of was the villain in original Blade, Lamagra.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But Demogra, get a replay up. I wanted to cast you. Or Dinge, 40-minute along TVZ. Or what we could do is get all these guys in a free-for-all and cast it.
Oh, we could do that. Oh, but I'm US servers.
So am I.
No, EU servers even. No.
Oh, wow.
And I'm pretty sure that Dinge is EU servers as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we need to figure
horrible.
out, guys. As soon as I figure out as soon as I get a comp, as soon as I start streaming, I have some fun things in mind. But yeah, EU for the win. Oh, shuts. Oh, wow. Damn, I feel bad now.
I think there's quite a lot of EU. You know.
USA, 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 Anybody? Come on, chat. Just chat.
I don't know.
Chat.
We need a game.
We need a game, guys. Because you British.
No, hello. I need a game.
¿De qué estás hablando, señor? Yo ni sé lo que estás hablando.
Excellent.
Voted today, Carlos? Hell no, I didn't. I am very anti-political, sir. Yeah. We got a 40-minute long. Let's do that one.
What, the Dinge one?
Do it.
All right. I'm gonna leave you for a little while, because nature calls.
Nature calls. I'll just go ahead and interchange the chat. Put up thingies here and there. Talk there and here. Go ahead and do your thing.
I will. I'm just gonna get the game and stuff, and we are doing Dinge's game, right?
We gotta kill it. Well, Killer Koala just uploaded one that's 20 minutes long. You know what? You do your thing. We'll let the chat decide.
Yeah.
We'll come back. Yeah, go for it.
All right. I'm privileged. This is the first time I've ever been able to like stand up without a guilty conscience. And
go. I got this. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, man. You're awesome.
You're fine. It's no problem. Go. All right, guys, he's gone. Here's what we want. Here's what we got to do. We're gonna leave this stream and go somewhere else. But before you guys go, write a bunch of hate mail. Just a lot of hate stuff saying, no, this guy is garbage. I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. And try to put in something about his tiny penis. Now, I don't know if his penis is tiny or not, but if he's any sort of a man like I am, that'll hurt him. Dave is fat, so make fun of his fatness. No, don't make fun of his fatness. That's just rude. Make fun of his small penis first. Rape him. Wow. Dave's bone Carlos is tiny. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can find this picture. Hold on. When I was playing a DC Universe Online, they actually referred to their members as Bone Carlos. And there was a woman in our guild, and she called it her Lady Bone Carlos. I'm going to see if I can find that picture. Hold on one second. Oh, man. That was... That's a shout out to the past.
Hello.
Hello.
So there's a lot of chat about my penis. Fantastic.
Yeah, all of a sudden they started talking about your penis for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I think it's because I went away.
That must be it. These guys are really terrible when they're... What? See, look at that. Like, these guys are really bad when you're not around. I'm not sure why they started talking like that.
I'm around now, and they're still going for it.
Well, you know, you can't stop them. They're an unruly mob.
Here's a interesting fact. Here in the UK, or perhaps everywhere, Dick is short for Richard.
Well, so, it is over here as well.
They could say that, in fact, I have a small Richard, which wouldn't make much sense at all, would it now?
Well, there you go.
So... let's go ahead and just roll on with that idea, because that makes me feel better about my tiny cock. Oh
man, you know, I was telling him a story about a picture. Maybe I could find it if you're so inclined, sir.
Yes.
Sure.
What?
You know what? I'll find it later. I don't want to stop your stream.
That's so...
Oh my gosh! I'll find it later.
Have you got the game?
Oh, we were supposed to, guys. We were supposed to pick a game. The hell? You guys were talking about his penis and Dick and Richards, and we didn't even decide on a game.
Unbelievable. This is like the pits right here.
First one to pick.
What's happening?
Stop. All right. Let's go. You know what? Let's go ahead and do Killer Koalas. That's only a 15-minute game. Let's see how I feel after that, because tempting to plan a mutiny.
Oh.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell him.
Killer Koala's game. Where's the link for that?
There you go. We might do it afterwards, as Nov. It's just really late for me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how long I could keep this up.
This has been fun.
Has it?
It has. I personally think that this has been a relatively large amount of fun, at least.
I've hated it, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
For a minute there, I was going to be like, oh, you can come and do it again next week, yeah?
I would never do this again.
Oh.
Come on, man. I'm Bone Carlos. Ugh. Jeez. Can't believe I'm stooping so low, scraping the bottom of the barrel on this one.
Or whatever.
I'm kidding, by the way. I don't want you to feel bad. I get sarcastic when I'm by myself here. Anyways, Bone, what's race are you? You know what? Here, maybe this will answer your question. I'm assuming in StarCraft 2. Because, here. Or I'll link something that'll make you cringe. What, a picture of me? I've seen it before. Have we got the game downloaded yet?
Yeah. I'm just adding it to my thingamajiggy, to the files. I hope we have the same one. I hope there hasn't been any sort of misunderstanding.
Killer Koalas? 2719. Yeah, I just saved it, so why is it not there?
Killer Koala.
Mm-hmm.
Antigua Shipyard. 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it. 27. It is not saved for me for some reason. That's
It's okay.
embarrassing.
It's okay. Take your time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Why is this not? Oh, here we go. Oh, that was weird. It's loading up and going.
All right. Okay. Shall we delve?
Let's and it is loaded.
Fantastic. I'm actually going to put the screen up this time as well, which is something that, due to popular feedback, people actually want to see the game that we're casting. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's fancy that. That's crazy. Like
That is kind of insane.
It took quite a lot of people to tell me this, and then I realised. Absolutely crazy. So, should we do a count-in again?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What number do you want to go from? Well, we've been over this joke.
72
72.
to 71.
72. 71. Go! Look at that. Amazing. That is how you get synchronization on the roll. Oh, my goodness. Would you like to introduce the players? And I'll do my best to keep up with your fluid speaking.
My fluid speaking. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today, spawning in the left-hand side of the map, we have Killer Koala, also known as Angry Kittens. Cute little name. Spawning as the Red Terran. His opponent is going to be the Squishy, the Gooey, Anton. Spawning as the Blue Zerg in the bottom right.
Excellent. I actually have a friend called Anton. Just gonna throw that out there.
I'm waiting for the rest of that story.
No, that's it. That's it.
Oh, well!
It was just an interesting factoid that wasn't actually that interesting. So there you are.
Anton.
Yeah.
And one thing that I do not like about... I'm just going to go ahead and just keep going. One thing I don't like about this map is if you do spawn close by ground, as Killer Koala did with and against Anton, you do have a disadvantage if you do spawn in the counterclockwise position. Meaning that your third base, you pretty much can't grab. I mean, you can, but it's just so difficult. It's so easy to harass from the main base of Anton, while Anton is very easily... would be very easily be able to grab his third base.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totes agree. I actually really like CVT as a matchup. Did I mention that last time? Ooh! Sneaky engineering bay coming down there by Mr. Killer Koala. And this is just something that you might actually see from Killer Koala on any given day of the week. He's a great player, I think, personally. I mean... I
hate that guy.
Do you? Oh, no. Well, of course, this is all tongue-in-cheek. But...
No, I'm being... No. No, but this is actually something that I've seen Killer Koala do in pretty much every time he goes up against Zerg, and all the replays he's uploaded and everything that I've done, any cast that I've done with him against a Zerg player, he does this. And then generally goes into high Raven play.
Yeah. He loves his experimental plays. I've seen games where he'll go battle cruisers. He loves his nukes. I don't know. He's a bit like the who's a fairly experimental musician.
Slash.
Slash.
Yeah.
Would you say Slash is experimental?
That's the joke.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Maybe you know something about Slash that I don't.
Slash is no, I wouldn't count. I don't even know why we're talking about Slash. I don't particularly enjoy his choices.
What I'm saying is you've got mainstream and then you have Killer Koala.
Oh, so you're saying Killer Koala is weird?
No, he's experimental, you know? He goes for the weird stuff and it works. Yeah, he goes for the weird stuff and it works. Like, well, you know?
StarCraft 2.
Huh? Yeah. It's a bit like when dubstep first appeared and everyone was like, what the fuck is this shit? But then everyone's like, oh, nice bit of dubstep, no problem.
So you're comparing Killer Koala to dubstep? I'm not sure that's a...
Oh. I think this has been too far removed. I don't know, I've gone on too much of a tangent, haven't I? For it to become sensible, logical, make sense. That, you know.
This is your stream. You could do whatever you want, but I'm just saying that Zerglings and Queen are going to go ahead and take down this engineering bit, but I'm pretty sure Killer Koala already knows this by the little sounds, cancels it, saves himself some minerals, and pretty much just delayed the expansion of Anton for quite some time. Actually, by 4 minutes.
He's actually managed to get his command center up and be turning it into an orbital command by this time as well. So this is like an all-for-all good start for Killer Koala, really. Nothing to complain about whatsoever. So that's pretty nice. I mean, he hasn't got any scouting done, which is a bit of a bummer, but apart from that, this is a pretty seamless start.
And yeah, Planetary Fortress is down. Very straightforward Killer Koala style. Bunker being put down to complete that wall. And what I noticed about Anton is he doesn't have any higher tech. He still only has a single extractor, and he's playing as if he already had that expansion up and running. So double fun for Killer Koala by delaying that expansion by about 3 to 4 minutes. And on top of that, Anton didn't know what to do and kept on going with his natural build, his normal build that really isn't going to work at this time since he's going to be out macroed by Killer Koala very, very quickly.
Yeah. Especially seeing as Killer Koala's Terran, they have the obvious advantage of mules. Despite Killer Koala is missing out having another orbital to pull down twice as many, it doesn't really matter because already he's so damn far ahead. But if you look at the income tab, actually, they're about even.
Well, on the mineral side of it, they are very much even, but Anton is not mining any gas. While Killer Koala already has 2 extractors up, 2 refineries up, and he's already putting down 2 more. And his natural expansion, so that's a total of 8 SCVs, not mining minerals.
Entirely
that's where I would say that number is a bit miscued or misconstrued in that sense.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Killer Koala standard play, switching off that tech lab out of that factory starport, putting down a Viking, and already researching that Corvid reactor. We're gonna definitely see some Raven play. Oh yes, that's the Killer Koala I know and love. Zerglings are at the front of the expansion.
I think I cast a game with Killer Koala last week, and he went Raven as well.
Yeah, and I think
thoroughly his thing.
Yeah, and definitely, I think I drunk casted one where he also went Raven. I'm not quite sure. That entire night was a haze. But really, the entire reason that his expansion is turned into a planetary fortress is to be able to defend himself up against these kind of pushes. The Zerglings going to try to do a run by, but this planetary fortress is going to get plenty of kills. Already has around 8, 9. These Zerglings are running themselves into a wall, going to try to nibble away at this engineering, but it's not going to go down in time. And now, the Zerglings are going to die some more.
That's quite the wasted venture for these Zerglings, unfortunately.
Look at the units lost tab.
Oh, poor Zerg, poor Anton. Dear oh dear.
Poor Anton indeed, grabbing his 3rd base but throwing away 35 Zerglings. That's 17 larvae. If I'm doing my math correctly, 17 and a half. This planetary fortress feels like he is the man. He is a building that is A-okay. Killer Koala is going to go ahead and build a command center. He's going to go ahead and take his top 3rd base while flying around with his Viking to make sure there's no pesky overlords just hanging around.
Yep. Great times actually there. I think I mentioned last week, because Killer Koala did a very similar thing with his Viking back then as well. But that's something you might see from mid-level players really improving their play and stuff like that, is the amount they scout and the amount they do little tricks like flying the Viking around and taking out overlords, because even though it's just one overlord at that point in time, it all adds up and it adds pressure onto the Zerg as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. If there's a single Viking flying around, it forces Anton or the Zerg player to pull back his overlords, and that just denies scouting. That's just invaluable scouting information that's just lost right off the bat. And whenever I go Sky Toss versus a Zerg, 3 or 4 Phoenixes could really do damage, especially if you catch them unawares. But after that, just float your Phoenixes around the map, forces all the overlords to just hang back, hang out in the base, and at that point, they're pretty much useless.
Yeah, absolutely. I think really, yeah, it's along the same lines of when Zerg transitions into the long game from the mid. Really, like both sides will have loads of overlords just dotted around the place, and then all of a sudden one of them will get mutalisks, and the overlord cleanup ensues. And it kind of changes the game a little bit, because you go from having so much really good scouting to having none.
Yeah, and definitely one anti-air unit is more than enough. And Killer Koala has his Viking just on a patrol, a move, all around the map, scouting, hoping to pick off an overlord. Even if he doesn't find an overlord, that's still scouting information that he has, and something that we've lacked in the previous 2 games. And good job for Killer Koala to just kind of make this kind of a teaching stream for all you guys' hundreds and thousands of viewers out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
I think I think Killer Koala really is like an example of how to get better. Really, I mean, if you watch Killer Koala all the freaking time, you'd be like, oh, I could do this, I could do this. I believe he's just at that point where he does like new enough strategies that he's kind of like maybe come up and refined himself. Along with that, he kind of does everything that you should do to get better, such as the Viking flying around the map, you know? He's just a good player all round. And I always enjoy casting him. And he's so good on cast it. He's such a legend, basically. There you are.
Yeah, there you go. And look, he's going to go ahead and pick off an overlord. And right now, I feel his blood is just rushing through his veins just a little bit, because we're talking so much about him. And not to mention, he is incredibly handsome. Very generous.
Have you met him?
And donates very much lots of money, because he is filthy stinking rich. So if any ladies are out there listening, go after the Killer Koalas.
You have to be rich if you're a Killer Koala, of course.
Oh, definitely. And right now, Ravens are popping out by the 5s. Am I reading that right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are reading that right. Killer Koala, up to his usual tricks, is going to be coming out with the Mass Raven. And actually, it's nearly a repeat of the game I cast last week, actually.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, Killer Koala does have this build down pat. Engineering block at the natural, planetary fortress at his own natural, and then here come the Ravens. This is just a Killer Koala stamp of a game, and I expect this to be ending very, very quickly. Simply because what does Anton have that could counter this many Ravens? He has 4 queens, 41 banelings, and 81 zerglings. They're streaming across the map, and actually, I would actually like to see, yep, Hunter Seeker, actually it's just the Seeker missile. Now here come the zerglings, here come the banelings. I'm interested to see exactly what happens, and more banelings are being morphed in. Looks like this command center is being turned into a planetary fortress. SCVs are there. Killer Koala is licking his chops, gonna go ahead and build himself a wall of auto turrets, and give me the Seeker missiles. There.
It doesn't.
Oh, there it is, but not before the bunker goes. Expansion does get wiped out, cleaned up, but really at what cost? There are plenty of Ravens here. Looks like more.
Yeah.
Autos are being put down.
I mean, this is actually probably the stiffest competition I've seen in a Killer Koala game yet. He's actually having to turn those Ravens into more of a defensive tool. Unfortunately for Anton, Zerglings and Banelings can't jump. Therefore, the Ravens are just kind of trucking around completely unharmed. And it does look like Killer Koala will be finishing this off. But more Zerglings flooding in from Anton right now. And this looks like a very, very dangerous situation for Killer Koala. He's got the Ravens, but he just needs some way of really making himself 100% safe very, very quickly indeed. And he is blocking off. But, I mean, he has lost his natural.
Yeah, he has lost a natural, but he does have his 3rd, he has his 4th, and he just finished up his 5th.
He is ahead of Zerg in mining bases as well, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and looking at the harvester count, we see 30 versus 74, but with this many planetary fortresses just hanging out, going to be a little bit of a difference. Banshees are on the field now. Planetary fortresses are do very well up against these nimble little Zerglings, and now, wow, interesting position that Killer Koala. I still find himself in the lead, and what does Anton do? Let's just build some mutalisks.
Oh, I can't think of a worse idea. I don't know.
Wow.
Secret
right now,
versus light biological.
No, bueno, and I do. Oh man, this is just gonna end up very badly for Anton. Looks like these auto turrets are gonna just clean up everything. Finally, Mulists are on the field. 1 point to Hunter Seco missile brings all of them down to red. 2 more finish off the flock.
See, that's my main problem I had. I don't know what Zerg can do to counter this from
Well,
KillerKoala.
at this point, there really isn't. One thing that I've been wanting to talk to KillerKoala about this build is what happens when your opponent does drops. Does a Nidus Worm in your main base. Your main base is very weak at around the 8, 9, 10 minute mark before you get a nice saturation of Ravens. And you have nothing else for defense. Your defense is mainly that wall off at the front with that planetary fortress. But what happens if an Overlord drop happens in your main base? What's there to defend? A couple of Ravens and a handful of Marines, and that's it. And that single Viking that he builds. And I find that that's pretty much the only thing that Anton could have done.
Yeah.
Is do some sort of aggression, not attack where your opponent is the strongest.
Maybe use roaches as well. I mean,
Roaches?
It sounds like a daft idea, but those
not really, yeah.
those autocannons, man, like they're not brilliant against armored. See, Hunter Seeker missiles aren't brilliant against armored. You know, roaches might be the best route of action, really. But
Well,
then,
I mean,
then that's what the
yeah,
Banshees are for. So
Yeah, at this point, at this stage of the game, at the 15, 16, 17 minute mark, no, it's not going to work. Your Zerg opponent needs to scout, and I don't think... Yeah, Anton didn't scout throughout the entire game. The furthest he got into was into that main base when he broke the front of the natural expansion, but other than that, he didn't scout. So again, lack of scouting, Anton could have just dropped in the main base and maybe done some more damage, but lack of scouting comes back and bites the player.
absolutely. Are you still with us for another game or so, Carla?
Let's do another game. Let's just do 17 more games. I don't care at this point. My body is ready.
Excellent. That's what I like to know.
Right?
Right. Okay. Let's return.
And I like to point out that Esnov says Hydras are useless up against the point defense droids. Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking forward to Heart of the Swarm? I mean, obviously.
I definitely am.
Yeah.
No, definitely am. I'm hoping. I'm looking forward to the dual casting where one person does the cast and then it goes off of the other person, so we don't have to do this cheeky shenanigans starting at the same time. Just a lot of the upgrades that I feel are needed for the Wings of Liberty.
Yeah. I'm super pumped for it, really. But I'm trying to like avoid watching too much content of it. Really, I don't know. I don't want to like ruin it for myself, as it were.
Yeah, no, definitely. The only thing that's my main thing about movies, video games, books. I just avoid them completely, so I can experience them for myself.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get what you mean. Do you get that with beta as well? Like, if like there's a big open beta for something, like months and months and months before it comes out, it's like, sure, you really, really want to play it, but at the same time, it's like you might not want to, because ultimately that kind of negates the whole, this game's coming out, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to play it for weeks, you know?
Right. Like when I heard that Borderlands 2, like I'm heavy into Borderlands 2. The only thing I looked into at Borderlands 2 was I watched the first official trailer, which was 6-7 months before it actually came out, and then that was it. I didn't look into anything else. Same thing with Black Ops. I haven't looked into anything else, and I'm gonna buy it.
Have you played Borderlands 2 yet?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh right, I bought it yesterday.
Oh dude, Xbox?
No, PC.
Shame. No, I got that. I've already gotten playthrough 2.5 on 2 characters already.
Oh, flipping hell.
Yeah, I'm pretty big into that game right now. Let's see, Demogorgon. All right, let's see. Wait, which one are you, Demogorgon? Axis or RFZ? Axis. There we go.
I think I just sent you the one. The thingamajiggy.
You sent me your
it's
thingamajiggy.
Demogorgon Axis.
Yeah.
Phantasmalismic. Excellent.
What?
Phantasmalismic. That's right. That's a made-up word. Right in your ears.
I like it. You like when I do that, don't you? That's just weird
What?
to me.
What?
That's like the third time I've done that, and you just giggle like a little. You know what? And it does work on women.
Hey, well, there you are.
Well, I can't blame
Well,
you.
earlier people were saying that I've got a small penis. They're all wrong. I am, in fact, a very masculine-sounding woman.
Prove it.
I can't. I can't. It's just,
like Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, it's just unnatural. I've lost my flipping glasses again. You know what? I don't need them. It's all right.
Put your glasses on, or else you won't know the difference between anything.
I'm
It's fine,
I'm not that
man.
blind. All right, I've found some sunglasses. I'll just put those on instead.
That'll help with your vision. Mm-hmm.
Damn right. It's kind of like being at the cinema watching a 3D film, but it's not actually 3D. So.
Tits are get the fuck. That's right, killer bunnies.
All right, should we do a count?
Yeah, let's do a count.
Excellent.
Let's start on C this time.
C.
Mm-hmm.
C. B. A. Go! Is that good enough for you?
Oh yeah, baby.
Excellent. In the top left-hand corner today, we have our red Zerg, who goes by the name of RFZ. Excellent. And in the top right, it's a blue Terran by the name of Axis. Ooh. And there we are. Those are the teams. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, occasionally, Bone Carlos. Or a gorilla.
I was just, damn. I'll be a gorilla. I don't give a damn.
I've never had anyone do. You're a. Yeah. Your various impressions of things are good. Like your I can do a really good sheep impression. But. So that. So we have Axis going for the standard blocking right now against Zerg. Oh. Which Terran do love to do to prevent all sorts of run-bys. Can we actually just get from the chat what level of play this is, please? High Diamond. Lovely. Do you like a spot of High Diamond? Excellent. I could get from the tone of that. Oh dear. Fantastic.
Can I stop now?
Are you done yet?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Thank God. Bone Carlos is with us after slaying the gorilla.
Yeah.
Did you slay
Kick
the
you,
gorilla?
Boston. I didn't slay him. I put him in his place.
Damn right.
Do what I can with what I've got.
Absolutely.
Have we introduced the players yet?
Yeah, we have. And they're both scouting in the wrong places.
Oh wow, definitely. That is actually a very interesting way that RFZ scouted with his Overlord going in the same direction as his drone. Generally, you see Zerg players putting their Overlords just cross map positioning close by air and then sending the drone in the other way. Maybe RFZ should kind of just look into that just a little bit.
I think so. I think. Well, it's not correct, really, is it?
I was trying to be nice and polite, but no, yes, you're completely wrong, RFZ. Go learn stuff. Oh my, this drone might actually sneak by this Marine Axis. Is going to go ahead and lower the supply depot. Why not, since there is a big old gap on the left side, and this drone is just going to go ahead and scatter around and see absolutely everything.
Yep, RFC actually sees that there is no gas taken just yet, which actually is a fairly good indicator of what is going on. We do have a 2 racks down by Mr. Axis at the moment, obviously meaning aggression going to come out. So, I mean, RFC is going to have ample time to prepare for this as long as he knows what he's looking at.
And I don't think and he does not know that Axis is actually building a bunker on the low ground right outside his natural ramp. As soon as this creep spread does get out there, though, it might get there, but looks like the Zerglings are going to poke out and catch it just in time. Are they going to be able to stop it? Nope. Zerglings catch it, run by it, but the bunker is finished. Get inside SCV. Nope.
Marines coming in right now. This does actually look like maybe it'll be a successful bunker play.
No, definitely. Just see if Axis can bring another SCV in to be able to repair this and continue his aggression. But RFC does a very smart play by putting on a couple spine crawlers, not overcommitting completely to the defense. He has just enough to be able to hold this off.
I've got to have respect for Axis, actually. In fact, I have respect for any Terran who pulls off a bunker play like this well. I think it's not... I wouldn't necessarily call it cheese, I don't know, but it's one of the harder early aggressions that involves buildings to do, if you get my drift.
Right, no, definitely. One misclick, one miscue. If your opponent scouts it, if you do something incorrect, even just by a little bit, it completely blows up in your face. And in my opinion, there's no such thing as cheese. It's just a way to win.
Okay.
Yeah, people rage. Yeah,
enough.
people do this, people do that. But really, a win's a win's a win. Do I hate it? Yes. Do I get annoyed by it when I'm playing Street Fighter and someone just turtles all day? Yeah, but it's a legitimate strategy, no big deal. Axis does manage to salvage that bunker, so gets back a couple of those minerals.
This is it. I mean, you know, people want to win. My flatmate goes absolutely ballistic when people cannon rush him, but at the end of the day, you've got to have you've got to have sense of the fact that the guy who's done the cannon rushing just wants to win as much as the next guy, you know? So it's kind of all even, I suppose.
Yeah, no, definitely. And for me, it's just a game. Yes, you can get upset and rage and do all your stuff, but really blaming it on something that is considered quote-unquote cheese, I don't go so far as to do that. I mean, earlier today I lost to a 2-gate rush. Not even a proxy gate. Just 2-gate rush, and I just completely lost it because why? I didn't scout. Yeah. Is that really cheese at that point? Not really. Not really. Even if I did scout it and I still lost to it, nah, you know what? Tip of the hat, you won. But right now it looks like Axis is taking a third expansion, again trying to keep up with or actually just beat a Zerg opponent in the expansion category. So good for them to be able to pull this off. I wish I could do this as a Protoss player, really.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, building your buildings in your own base and then flying them over is a luxury that Protoss players just cannot afford. RFC actually scouting around the place right now, looking to expand. This Zergling was here a little while ago, up on the high ground at his third, just having a poke about, making sure that it was all lovely and safe there.
Yeah, especially on that little high ridge, on that condemned ridge area.
Yeah.
It's a really nice spot to put buildings down, put a pylon to be able to warp in. Very obvious spot, so checking it, you just pretty much really have to at this point.
It's actually quite a Terran favourable map, this. Because of those little shelves above the third base. It doesn't take too much to get some siege tanks and some medvacs, take them there and just siege up, you know, and just destroy a mineral line of your opponent. Especially if, like, you're in a lower league, that's so possible and so dangerous for your opponent.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the reasons why they changed Lost Temple into Shattered Temple. Yeah, if you do remember Lost Temple in the first, I think it was, they changed it in the 4th season?
Yeah.
5th season? They got rid of those overhanging rocks there at the natural expansion. It looks like you're going to see Axis just completely throw away a couple of those aliens, really. And really, it was a bit of a mistake, a misclick by RFZ too, exploding a couple of those Banelings on those Hellions. Really, those Zerglings were enough. Should have been able to just pull those back. But you know what? Too late for that now.
Absolutely. You gotta kind of feel sorry for those poor Hellion pilots there. Never to see their wife and children again. Never to smoke another cigar and be jolly.
But what if they're single and hate smoking?
Then they need to get in a relationship and start smoking. I think. I don't know. Like, if you look at the picture of the Hellion guy.
Oh wow, he actually is smoking. All right, well then there you go.
And he doesn't look like a guy who would be in a relationship either. You know.
You know what? Okay, I retract my statement. Logic wins, prevails again. You have bested me, sir. No tongue in cheek on that. I'm being serious. Trying to help you out here. Nothing. Just gonna let me talk.
I'm just gonna let you talk.
Fine.
Earlier you made gorilla noises for at least 3 minutes. I'm just gonna sit here and, you know.
Oh, that is a-okay. Just go ahead and follow the sounds, the dulcet tones of my voice. You see a macro hatch on the main base. 4 more Hellions are gonna go ahead, push forward, and gonna be nibbled away. A surround does happen by those Zerglings. Those 4 Hellions go down. 6 thrown away. Hellions not sure exactly what Axis is thinking, just chucking those Hellions at his opponent when it hasn't worked. So, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Did I mess that up? I definitely messed that up, man. I can't believe I messed that up.
Shame on me.
I was channeling my inner Bush at that point. Yes, that is the extent of my political knowledge.
Excellent. Well, you've got the elections today, haven't you?
Yeah, but more importantly, 2 more Hellions are coming across the map, maybe with blue flames at their disposal. Are going to stop right at the edge of that creep and say, wait a minute, this seems oddly familiar, and yep, definitely seems like before.
Good
oh my
night.
God, Axis, stop. What are you doing? Oh,
I wonder if there's 2 more Hellions queued up. Oh no, there's a siege tank. Okay.
There is a siege tank.
You never know, maybe he'll go for a poke and get surrounded as well.
Well, siege mode is being researched. 3 more Marines are on the way. 6 more, a barrack, a factory, a supply depot, and a hatchery. All in all, a very interesting play by high diamond level players.
Absolutely.
No, you know what? This was, yeah, no, high diamond, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna go into chat and ask Axis what he was thinking by just shoveling those Hellions down his opponent's throat.
Okay.
Is he explaining himself right now?
He says he had no units, so he threw Hellions at him instead to keep him from pushing. That's fair enough, in my book. I don't know. And it would stop him from producing, well, maybe stop him from producing drones, but I mean, the losses were quite decisive. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit better control on those Hellions, keeping them off of creep, keeping that speed boost away from the Zerglings, to keep that surround from not happening. I mean, the creep is still spreading at the RFC's pace that he wants to do, and generally when you put Hellions at the front, you keep them off the creep, and which is something that I saw didn't really happen. Here comes a little bit of a push by RFC. Looks like a couple of scouting Marines, a small squad gets picked off. Here comes the Zergling.
Here is the split from Axis.
Very good split.
Very nice indeed. Yeah, quite a lot of the Banelings actually just blowing up on like 1 Marine right there. Not the most effective use of Banelings at all from RFZ. That's really nice from Axis. The splitting was great there. He does have the advantage at the moment because he is upgrades up on his opponent. He has 2-2. His opponent only has 1-1 for the future, but this window of opportunity is closing along with the attack. But I mean, he traded. He got away with a really, really good trade, I think.
Yeah, no, that was definitely. I was watching this and I was thinking that Terran forces were going to be overwhelmed. But really, the siege tanks were in an optimum positioning. One did go down, but they were just where they needed to be. The split was pretty nice, not too far apart, not too close together, and the Terran army managed to do their thing. But here come the land sharks in Burrowed Infestors, and does Axis have any sort of detection to be able to defend against this?
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, and this could prove very disastrous if these infestors just get into the main, into the natural. This is going to be very difficult to stop. Let's see if he sees these land sharks, and nope.
They're
just going to go ahead and...
lines coming across. They're so difficult to spot, though. They really are.
Yeah, no, definitely. I very rarely have to deal with burrowed infestors, so I haven't really trained my eyes to look at that, but... they are very hard to spot, and here it comes. The infested Terrans are going to pop, are going to be spewed all over the place, and they're immediately going to go focus fire down this orbital command. Axis finally puts his SCVs down to repair. Let's see if he's able to hold on to it for just a few minutes longer.
I think he will be able to, you know. That was a dangerous time indeed for Axis. He was nice and quick off the mark there, getting his SCVs to repair the command center just when the command center had about 1/3 health left. Ultimately not the best harassment there by RFC, but he does keep the infestors on the high ground, being able to use them later on in the game.
And right now it looks like Axis is going to go ahead and push forward. Siege tanks are sieging up, but the surround is happening by these Zergling siege tanks. Volleys just decimate the Zergling line and forget about it. That was an easy one-sided victory for Axis.
Absolutely. That was a really, really nice engagement. He's got to be feeling very, very confident at this point in time. He doesn't know about the infestors, but really he's going for a push. RFC is going to have a lot of problems on his plate very, very shortly, let alone just dealing with the infestors above the mineral line there.
Yeah, and it looks like RFC is actually pulling back all his infestors to reinforce his main army. Another little engagement. Fungal Gross to get down all of the Marines. That's exactly what RFC needed. The Marines melt away. Here come the infested Terrans, and looks like the medevacs do pick up what is left of the army, and what is left of the army is exactly one siege tank. And wow.
Meanwhile, in the fourth base of Axis, brain fart there. In the fourth base of Axis, we do have the infestors moved back down. I'm not actually sure if there was guys killed here. It doesn't look like there were because the workers killed count hasn't actually gone up at all. But lots of infested Terrans coming up right now, and they will just be trying to take down this command center. Whether or not they'll be able to do it, oh yeah, they easily will. And we have a lost command center there for Axis. The infestors being a big old pain in the ass, and if they stay there, they'll be an even bigger pain in the ass.
Yeah, and that's definitely what you never want to let your opponent keep your the harassment units in the base. You want to pull out a Raven if possible. There is no tech lab on a starport just yet. He's still turning out that bio ball that Axis is doing, but scan around, try to find those. I think even a sensor tower could catch those burrowed units. If I am mistaken, point that out. But I do believe they do catch them, and at the same time, RFC is going to go ahead and take his looks like it's going to be his 5th, 6th, and 7th base of the game. While at the same time, Axis is going to go ahead and retake his 4th base of his own.
I'm not actually sure that sensor towers do detect burrowed and stealthed units. I don't know. I don't think they do.
You don't think they do? All right. Well, I might have heard somewhere that they did, but putting down maybe some sort of detection, definitely missile turrets at the very least.
Absolutely.
And right now, looks like RFC is maxed out, but so is Axis. And right now, RFC is just barely on Zerglings and Banelings with some Infestor backup. He is building a Spire, going ahead and try to get up with those beefy air units that are the Corruptors, that are the Broodlords. And another big engagement is going to happen. Siege tanks are sieging up. Here come the Zerglings streaming forward. Fungal growths catch plenty of Axis' army. The surround does happen, but the Marauders are very, very, very healthy units against Zerglings.
Absolutely, and again, Axis comes out on top, and now we have a supply difference to say it all as well. RFC building it back up, but I'm not sure he'll be able to do it quite quick enough. Really. Fungal growth coming down on the Marines and Marauders here, but these infestors are going to have to be so careful. Axis' split is very, very nice indeed. No problems there. Infested Terrans will probably block this army's progression, or at least you think so.
Yeah, and what I like about Axis is doing, he's actually building himself a nice little wall, not allowing those Zerglings to get past the Marauders, not letting them get us around, but it proves that the infested Terrans are just too much. Yeah. And the entire Terran army is destroyed, but still trying to take down this 4th hatchery. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Drones are in the mix. They're going to come and start nibbling away. And it's time for Axis to pick up these units and head on home. But at the same time, it looks like a fresh squad of Terran units are there, but they're going to get fungal growth. Going to bring down to the red, and now it's time for Axis to go home.
RFC bringing out the Mutalisk as well, just quickly putting it out there.
Yeah, no, he does have the Mutalisk, and that's actually a decent choice. There are no Thors, there are no anti-air, so these Mutalisks are going to be able to give chase to these retreating medevacs, but now both players are even food yet again. 155, 158 to 146 of Axis, 155, 160. There we go.
There's no missile turrets or any sort of anti-air in the main base of Axis either. I mean, this could be pretty nasty harassment if he were to use the Mutalisk, but it doesn't look like he's going down that route at all.
No, deciding to gauge the entire army of Axis directly, and that's not what Mutalisks are designed to do. Absolutely. They get churned up very quickly by Marines, pretty much get churned up very quickly by anything that could shoot up into the air. The infestors didn't have enough energy to put down some more fungal growth, so only infested Terrans were at his disposal, and that's not what you're going to need up against this small Terran force. Yeah,
I remember in StarCraft 1, Mutalisk used to be a kind of like a finesse unit. And now people try and use them so aggressively and so like as a main battle unit, it just doesn't work like that at all.
No, definitely. I would like to see RFC actually pull those Mutalisks back into the main base of Axis and just start nibbling away. Just keep your opponent guessing, keep him off guard. Yeah. And maybe he could have saved that 4th base, but right now his 5th, 6th, and 7th base are up and running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Oh, and look at that. At the 5th, there's actually another drop. Small siege tank and marauder force, and it looks like they're going to be able to take down this hatchery if RFC doesn't engage correctly, but that's because he's attacking at the main base.
And this is a big attack indeed. A lot of Zerglings here. RFC might actually be able to take this engagement.
And in my opinion, this is actually a very interesting choice. Axis decided to hold RFC's army at the main base because he wanted to take out these expansions, and it looks like they will go down.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's almost as if that was a thrown away attack there at the main. Kind of like a diversion, if you like.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I think that's might have been what happened. I mean, or who knows what's going on through the minds of the players when they're happening, but that's certainly what it looked like on paper or on film or on replay, as it were. And we're just going to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt and say that's beautifully designed play by Axis.
Yep.
Oh my SCV.
So that's 15? 15 SCVs going down right there?
Workers killed. Looks like 21 by RFZ, and looks like this planetary fortress is, I would say this is definitely going to survive. There are plenty of SCVs to start the repair, but more SCVs are dying.
I think RFC might have actually queued up the attacks on the SCVs. So,
and there it goes.
Yeah, that's a fair play by RFC, really.
And looks like this one is canceled. He does manage to save himself some minerals. And look at these infestors are still there now with full energy. So right now it's pretty much anyone's game. Both players are pretty much just reeling from